Welcome to CYB 673, Principles of Cyber Investigations. I'm going to be your professor for the next 8 weeks. My name is Stephen Pearson. Um, we're going to have a lot of fun in this class. There's a lot to do. It's a busy class. This is probably going to be one of the more academic classes you've had. This is not a lab class. This is not a research, or this is a research class, excuse me. So when you're in this class, we're not going to be doing lab reports, kind of like you probably are used to doing. We are actually going to be doing research papers, and research papers are a little bit different. Some of you may or may not be used to doing research papers, so this might be a new experience for you. A little bit about me. Currently, I am studying for my doctoral. I'm in Belgium right now. I will be leaving here in about 2 weeks. I'm over here teaching NATO Special Operations in cellular and digital forensics techniques and tactics. So I've been over here for a couple of weeks, and I will be leaving here on the 23rd. So the first 2 weeks of the class, I'm probably not going to have a session during the week where everybody can attend. I'm going to try to do it in the week or during the weekend. For the first week, I see what happens. But we're about 6 hours ahead of each other, so I will do what I can to try and accommodate at least a session where a majority or at least some of you can be there. All right, here's my contact information. This is really important. My phone number is 727-458-4989. I get texts here, I get phone calls here, but please text me prior to calling me. If I'm on the platform teaching or if I'm in a meeting, you'll either get sent to voicemail. So if you text me prior and say, hey, got a problem, I'd like to talk to you, I can text you back and say, I'll get back to you in a few minutes, or give me a call now, something such as that. During this course, I will only be out of the country this period, and then I have another short period, but I believe it's after the 8 weeks is over. I'll be back here teaching. So the rest of the time I should be bouncing between Tampa, Florida, and Raleigh, North Carolina, our home base, and so a couple side trips to Maryland. If you wish to join my LinkedIn, you can follow the latest and greatest things that we're doing with the company that I own, High Tech Crime Institute, and it's HTCI CEO. I'm more than happy to have you on board with that. I've got quite a few people on there that offer jobs every once in a while. So if you're looking for something in the cybersecurity world, that might be a way of getting in. I love helping students find employment, especially in this field. If you wish to email me through Engage, understand that Engage will send me an email saying that you have sent me an email. It is much easier if you send me an email directly to sfpearson or sfpearso@utica.edu. It comes directly to me. I don't have to go find a computer to log on, get to my Engage, or try to find a web connection so I can get on. I get the email directly, and I'm able to get a response to you pretty quickly. The course is 8 weeks long, starting on Monday. The course is made up of 3 basic things. An academic research paper, you have 3 of those. You have a simulated computer crime investigation. There are 2 deliverables in that are graded deliverables. You're also going to have a phone interview, which I'll explain later on. It's a little bit more complicated in how we grade that. And then there are 2 discussions per week, and I'll go over each of these here in just a minute. All grading is done by rubric. I have a rubric for the content. If you're writing it correctly through APA, Understand I'm going through I'm just finishing up my doctoral program. So the last 4 years I've been writing 2 to 3 APA journal papers a week. So I really do know APA. So I'm going to hold you to the master's level standard of APA. And you're going to learn how to do APA. I expect you to be able to write at a master's level. I really encourage you, if you have grammatical error or grammatical problems, spelling problems, things like that, find a tool to help you, like Grammarly or one of those tools that can help you out. But I do expect you to think and write at that master's level. I kind of warn people it may take 10 hours a week for this course. A lot of people have said it's taken a lot less. There's a few people that have said it's taken a lot longer. So I'm going to kind of stay with my 10 hours a week with discussions, the readings, reading PowerPoints or listening to PowerPoints, those kinds of things. So it should take you about 10 hours a week. Hopefully a little less, and hopefully not much longer. In each section, you're going to see PowerPoint slides. These are pre-recorded. These are the slides are provided to us from the book site. So these are the slides that go along with the book. I give you a little dialogue with it. Discuss a few things that, from my experience of being military law enforcement through CID, Sheriff's Department, and then some things that we have found out in the world of the civilian investigations. I'll try to make sure that each PowerPoint is posted up prior to the beginning of the week. Right now, all the PowerPoints except for week 5 are posted. I'm redoing those. So as of right now, all the PowerPoints are posted on the site. You'll see a discussions block. Each discussion will have an initial original response, and then 2 responses that you're going to have to do to students. That's a total of 6 posts. And a couple of people have already emailed asking this question. I didn't know the site was up yet, but I guess a couple of people have been able to get into the site to see see the introduction that's there now. So I just wanted to refine this. Again, it's 1 original post, and I expect citations in that original post. It needs to have original thought. You need to have a solid foundation for your post. It can't be just something you saw in the news and you're going to regurgitate something you saw in the news. You need to have some citations behind that. Things I do not want to see in the posts, and I definitely do not want to see them in the references block, is anything from CNN, Fox, MSNBC, any of the news stations, popular media. Those are not academic sources. The only thing that you can use in your posts and your papers is academic sources. And if you don't want to know what academic sources are, I put a whole bunch of reference materials in the very beginning of the course page to help you with the academic journals, or excuse me, academic sources. It also explains clearly what an academic source is, as opposed to popular media. Popular media does include books. So if you're referencing a book you've read, unless it's a journal, it's popular media, and it's not something that I'm going to accept. On your initial post, I want you to have at least 2 posts. I want you to have at least 2 articles per the original. After that, when you're responding to other students, I'm not going to hold you to a heavy citation, because now you're responding. I'd like to see you reference when you respond, because you need to start writing in academic form, but I'm not going to make you cite as heavily as I did on the first one. But on the first one, you must have those 2 articles, at least 2. And I'll give you an example of what a student from did. This is their post. This is his original post. He had good original thought, put in some good information about what he was trying to do, and then he put his citations. He's got his citations supporting inside of his argument, Hunter and Probst, 2011, and then he has his references cited correctly at the bottom of the discussion post. Okay, this is this is what I would expect to see on an original initial post. Doesn't have to be quite this long, but if it's a real brief and it doesn't say anything, well, then don't expect to be graded in the higher levels of the grading scheme. You're going to get graded for the work that you do. And if you do really good work, you're going to get really good grades. If you kind of half think it through and I got to throw it up there 10 minutes before I got to have the deadline due, well, then your grades will reflect that. All right, weekly meetings. Again, I'm going to try to have a weekly meeting starting the second or third week. Will definitely be during the Eastern time. The first week will definitely not. This next week coming up will definitely not be during the week. I'm going to try to have it on Saturday, probably sometime around 10-ish in the morning, which would be about 4 or 5 over here, so that we can do a weekly meeting. There is a little survey on week 1. Gives you an opportunity to try and pick the day and time that we do the meetings. I've give you a couple different times and days. So the majority of the class, however the class picks, that will be the date and time that we go with. We're going to use the big blue button. It seemed to work last time. Didn't seem to have too many problems with it. So we will continue to use the big blue button as our source. If that does not work, then I'll switch it back to GoToMeeting and do the GoToMeetings from that point. All right, research assignment 1, which is a tour. You're going to see it's basically a paper that you're going to write. It's going to be somewhere between 8 and 10 pages. I have provided a sample of that paper or a sample paper for you. Do yourself a favor, review that sample paper. We took the time to write it out or develop that for you, and I did a video to go along with that paper, and I explained to you everything that you need to have in that paper. Please do not turn in a paper in some format other than APA and then tell me, well, I used to turn this into other professors and it was fine. I don't care. This is not a lab class. This is an APA research class. So you're going to be turning in your papers in APA format. Okay, and the only thing I'm going to accept is APA. If you turn it in lab format or in some other format that somebody else accepted, well, you're going to unfortunately not succeed in that paper. Okay, so do yourself a favor, do me a favor, read the APA paper, that sample APA paper, read the tour or watch the tour video. I go across each one of the parts that you have to have in your APA paper. I talk about creating your original thought, your research question, how to cite. I give you some tools, some suggestions, and try to help you as much as possible. Okay, if you're having problems, give me a text, drop me a text and say, hey, I just don't get this APA. It's not working out for me. Help me out. And we'll schedule a time. We'll get on the web here, or we'll get a call going between us, and we'll get you down the road. The only people that have not been successful in this class when it comes to this stuff are the people that sat back and didn't ask for help. Anybody that has asked for help has done well in this class because we've been able to work through whatever issues they've had. Okay, so this is not trying to set you up for failure. This is setting a standard, an academic standard, and I expect you to step up to that academic standard. You are master's students. You are going to be peers in my field, in my world, and I expect to have a quality student or a quality person come out of this class. Those are my expectations. All right, classroom policies. Make sure you go through the classroom policies, look them up. As you can see on the second set of columns there. I put a ton of help research up there for you that will give you pointers on how to write papers, how to find articles, how to use the library. It's just a ton of research and resources up there. I put a formatted template up there for you, which is the Utica template. So that's there for you. Again, there's just a ton of research there for you. And I believe my video is still up there on how to do research, which I did a couple of sessions ago for some students, and people have said that's helped them out. So take the time to look at the videos, take the time to look at the help documents I'm providing you as a part of this class. All right, Cybercrime Investigation 1, Deliverable 1. You're going to conduct a criminal investigation, basically. It's a multi-part assignment. You're going to be given a real investigation. You're going to go through it. You're going to process it. At the end, you're going to do some forensics. And you are going to produce a investigative summary for this case. The investigative summary is not in APA format. I have a sample template up there for you. You'll use that sample template. It's a case report, and we'll be using this. Paul Patarny created this project, and it's pretty well done. I like it quite a bit, and just about every student that's gone through it at the end has come back and said it was a lot of fun, and you do get to do some interrogations. So you will be on the phone for 20-30 minutes with a suspect, trying to get them to fess up to what you think they might have done. All right, so look forward to that, because that is always one of the highlights of the class. And again, make sure you review that APA video. I cannot stress that enough. That APA video is there for you. The example document is there for you. If you follow the guide, if you follow the examples, you're gonna do fine. Stay on top of the discussions. Every class, Sunday night, midnight, at least somebody will call and say, hey, I've just been swamped. I can't get to my discussion. What do I do? I can't do anything for you on Sunday night, at midnight. What I can do is on Wednesday, when you realize you're getting swamped, is I can say, I can give you a little extra time. That I can help you with. But if you wait till the last moment, there's nothing I can do for you. All right, keep me informed. If you have an event, we're all working professionals, things happen. I have flights that get delayed and I get stuck in airports, and there'll be times during this class when I might have to miss something because life happens, but I will keep you informed. I'll let you know what's going on. All right, do the same courtesy. You keep me informed, tell me what's going on, and we'll be fine. You'll find I'm really easy to work with. I love teaching. I've been teaching for almost, seems like 100 years now. But yeah, I've been teaching a long time. So I know students, I know how you are, I know how we get ourselves worked up, and I know, especially as I'm a student too, I know some of the trials and tribulations that come along with that. So reach out, let me know what's going on, keep me informed, and you'll have no problem. And the most thing out of this is, yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into this, but have fun. There's a lot of good research in here. There's a lot of good stuff that you can do. When you start talking about the hacking, and you get into the some of the stuff that goes on in the back end, we start talking about the criminal world, and we start talking about why you see craziness going on where people walk out of jail because some little mistake a police officer makes. Well, we're going to talk about all that stuff, and we're talking about the rights of citizens, and we're going to talk about why the country gives protections to its citizenry from the federal government, for example. So you're going to get a lot of kind of interesting and maybe some insightful things, the things you didn't know, and especially when we get into the investigation part. I think you'll find there will be some things you definitely learn in that. It's been about 20 minutes. I definitely hope that you are going to do well in this class. I look forward to reading your papers. Always learn something from the students, and I definitely look forward to seeing you all leave out of here with A's and going on to your next class, and then later on maybe I'll be your capstone mentor. So with that, I will let you go, and look forward to seeing you in the classroom or seeing you in the classroom website on Monday. You have a good evening.